Gentlemen, start your engines.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back again here on a Sunday night for the Blazing Pedals Xfinity Series brought to us by Savage Edge Graphics. Joining me tonight, as always, is Terry, the Taffy Man Foster. Terry, how's it going?
Going great, man. Magic Mile, Loudon, New Hampshire, 182 laps. Sam, the big story tonight, I've talked to a bunch of drivers. The right front tire. What are they going to do to keep that thing on the car?
Well, if we've been watching practice, we've noticed a lot of guys really not putting that race car down on the yellow line in the corners. They're running kind of a groove up. They're kind of entering a little bit in the middle, letting it float up to the outside of the racetrack, bringing it back down, almost running a diamond line here. And New Hampshire is known for that. Terry, who are the ones to watch tonight? What do you think?
Well, I'm going kind of by last year's stats. Chris Carroll ran second here last season. Mark Arthur ran third. Jamie Walker ran fifth. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jamie Walker actually he did most laps led last season, 63 laps. So I would say Jamie Walker, Chris Carroll, Mark Arthur. This is Mark Arthur's type of track, Sam. So I think that's something we really need to watch out for, is that 12 car tonight.
Well, he's definitely shown his speed already. Top of the board right now with a 30.19, but Jamie Walker right behind him. And Terry, I don't think we can count out this number 7 car of Cody Gibson. He's up there in practice times as well, 30.32.
Yeah, definitely. Cody Gibson, actually got to talk to him a little bit. Oh, actually, this is deal right now. Gibson, he's already got a win this season too, Sam. And with that win, he's also got 2 top 3s. So Gibson is really coming on strong the first 8 races, the last 7 races so far this season.
As Terry said, ladies and gentlemen, 182 laps here tonight at New Hampshire. No cautions, no stage cautions. Well, maybe not no cautions, but no competition cautions, no stage cautions, nothing like that. We're doing 182 laps straight up. Terry, did you by chance, when you were talking to a couple of the drivers before we got started, we got a fuel run for the evening?
Yeah, these guys said they can push between 35 to 40. If they start running that clutch, Sam, and shutting that car off, they said they could probably get 41, close to 42. So I would say anytime after 35 laps, we got to start looking for green flag stops at 35.
There you have it. All right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to head down trackside for a pre-race ceremony. So if you could please rise and remove your hats for tonight's national anthem. And thank you very much, Joshua Rutherford, for a great rendition of our national anthem. Everybody, please go check out Josh's YouTube channel. That's Mullet Music Productions over on YouTube. He's out on track right now, too, Terry. Just got the green flag for the number 64, and he kind of goes a little wide there in 1 and 2.
Joshua Rutherford, I just heard some news on him today. He's still feeling a little down. I guess he got some teeth pulled through the week, Sam, so I guess his jaw hurts him still a little bit and a little pain in his neck.
Well, still out here getting ready to go for 182 laps around New Hampshire, so an interesting track to come back to with a little bit of pain going on in the head.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be running one of the motion rigs, man, if you got pain like that going. Looking at the 7 car, Cody Gibson going straight to the top of the board with a 30.53.
30.53 for the number 7 of Cody Gibson. Rick Thompson actually set a pretty good lap on his first lap at 30.92. He's sitting 5th on the board right now. Gibson.
Rick Thompson, Rick Thompson, I actually talked to him pre-race here. He says he just wants to finish the race and have the car in one piece at the end of this thing. So we'll see what happens with Rick.
Well, we got a newcomer here tonight, Terry. A couple of new guys tonight. Mackenzie Roon being one of them. The number 78 out on track right now. Second lap. First lap was a 31.85 for the number 78.
And I've not seen him on track yet, and I ain't seen him pop in, but we actually got an old driver that, oh yeah, he is in there. 36, Hank Caston right now, showing up in the top 5 with a 30.76 in that 36.
And Caston is a returning member to Blazing Pedals, so new to this season, but not new to this league.
I happened to see, you're sure you saw it too. He said he's coming out to get Jamie Walker this season. So, well, Hank, you got about 7 races too late for that. Jamie Walker now is our points leader. Talked to Jamie before the race. His main concern was that right front tire, Sam. And he wants to stay in the points lead at the end of this thing tonight.
Yeah, you're going to want to baby that right front tire all night long. You're going to be pushing it, going into the corners. You're going to be sliding it up the racetrack, trying to run almost, like I said, a diamond line around this facility. But you got to make sure you maintain that car. I mean, we're not going to have cautions unless it's a cause caution, right? So you really got to baby that thing, conserve your equipment, and you got to be there at the end.
Kind of look at the times that we've got up. John Perkins sitting in 4th out of Speed Mafia in that 33 car. John Perkins, he actually told me he's looking for a top 15 tonight. If he runs like he's qualified, I think a top 15 is not out of the question.
Dustin Ping, his second race this week. Last week had a pretty good showing at Watkins Glen. Currently 12th on the board with a 30.95 for the 0 of Dustin Ping.
Now, Dustin Ping in that 0. Same story with him, Sam. I actually talked to him for a little bit. He's got to save that right front tire. And you said it yourself. We didn't see a lot of guys getting down on that yellow line going into these turns. I think that's going to be key tonight.
Philip Van Vliet out on track. First lap for the Lone Dutchman, a 30.92 on his first lap. 31.13 on his second. The Lone Dutchman currently 12th on the board as teammate Corey Sherman actually just bumps him down 1 spot. Sherman goes 30.83 in the number 3, 10th on the board. Jamie Walker now up to 4th. How about a driver that we talked to last week, Terry, and then kind of had some bad luck? That's Andy Poliski in that number 32. Again, he's a driver that we've been seeing so far this season be very consistent. Had a little bit of bad luck last week, but 11th on the board right now here in qualifying.
Yeah, Andy, kind of same thing. He's kind of watching out for that right front tire. He wants to keep his car clean, man. But, he's been, like you said, he's been caught up in a lot of stuff this season, and he just wants to keep that car running there at the end of this thing.
So we still got about 4.5 minutes left to go here in qualifying. You got Steven Johnson out on track. Terry, did Steven Johnson change his number?
Not to my knowledge.
He's shown as the number 30. He could have swore he was the 48 or the 11. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was the 11. Maybe he's trying to do that to be incognito.
Maybe. Actually, you know what, Terry? I think I know what the problem is. So, ladies and gentlemen, on timing and scoring, Dustin Ping is going to be shown as the number 2. However, he is the 0. And what's going on with that, everybody, is that the pace car in iRacing is actually registered as the number 0. So, therefore, Dustin can't have his number. And I think that just kind of messed some things up, Terry.
You know what? I believe you're right on that. I just happened to look over at the pace car number, and that is, it's a 0.
Nobody's fault. I was telling the league owner, Mark Arthur, about it there before the race. So we'll get that rectified for next week. Just want everybody to know at home that if you look at timing and scoring and see Dustin Ping in the 2, he is actually the number 0.
Maybe we'll have to talk to Dustin and actually change his number to 00 or something.
No, he can keep the 0. We might just have to change it to 00 for the league.
Whatever. Hell.
Yeah, I mean, 0-0, right? Like, as long as he's got the 0 on there.
That's all that matters. Tell you what, man, we got 30 cars, 29 of them, which is taking a time. Who hasn't taken a time? The fastest car on track tonight in practice, Mark Arthur, in that 12 car.
He hasn't taken a time, Terry, but he's heading out on track right now. Let's see what the number 12 of Mark Arthur can do here with about 3 minutes left on the clock.
Maybe he's just wanting to be the last one to go, so we have to watch him. Mark Arthur yet with the win this season, Sam, when that's kind of strange out of that 12 car.
Yeah, he's actually found himself in some bad luck this season thus far as well. He's had a couple of good finishes, though, in that number 12 car, so don't let that fool you. And this is one of Mark Arthur's best tracks as he gets sideways there going into turn 1.
So I'm kind of looking at what he's done. Again, he is great at this track. We've seen him do this, all kinds of stuff at this track. But he has no wins. And Sam, he doesn't even have any top 3s. And he's 11th in points right now. I think he came in 2nd or 3rd place at the Daytona Clash. So, but that's not the points.
A little loose there. It looks like getting back down into turn 1 again. Mark Arthur being currently scored in 27th with a 31.34. I have to see what he does here on his second lap. And Terry, that's something we're going to have to watch all night long. We know how this track is. It's a flat racetrack. They're going to come up off this corner and they're going to be loose. We're going to see these guys slipping and sliding around all night long.
Yeah, I actually had a couple of guys say that coming off of 4, they got to make sure that right rear does not end up into the wall.
Mark Arthur brings it back down pit road. Going to be 7th on the board, Terry. Not a good qualifying effort out of that number 12, considering the time he ran there in practice.
Maybe Mark should have waited maybe another minute or something, wait for a cloud to come by to cool down that track just for a split second or so.
45 seconds left to go here in qualifying, and Terry, every single driver laid down a lap time here tonight.
Yep, that's a great thing to see. I love when all these guys qualify. But remember, Sam, if you qualify on the pole, you get an MFRD front pole award. Cody Gibson in the 7 car nabs the MFRD pole award. Chris Carroll in a 99 gets the MFRD outside pole award. So congratulations to Cody and Chris.
Well, don't forget, Terry, also, we have the True Sim Productions halfway award tonight as well. And
yep, lap 91.
And not to mention all the bonus points these drivers can get. You could lead a lap, get bonus points. You could lead the most laps, get bonus points. Biggest mover could get you some bonus points. You have a clean race, you get a 0x by the end of it, and you finish on the lead lap. That'll give you some bonus points.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff out there for these drivers to get each and every week, man. Then let's see, I got them all right here. You get 5 for the pole, you get 5 for the fastest lap, 5 for leading a lap, 5 for big mover. You get 10 points for having a 0x at the finish of the race, but you got to be on the lead lap to get that, and you get 5 points for most laps led. So, yeah, there's plenty of points out there for all these drivers to get tonight.
Well, that being said, Terry, it's time to go ahead and roll through the grid. Cody Gibson is going to be starting on the pole here tonight with Chris Carroll to his outside in second. Hank Caston going to be rolling off third. Jamie Walker to his outside in fourth. John Perkins starting in fifth with Dalton Kilroe rolling off sixth. Mark Arthur is going to be starting in seventh with Taylor Butcher Benjamin rolling off eighth. Dave Seats, good qualifying effort out of that number 14, going to be starting ninth. Brian Dees to his outside in 10th. Corey Sherman rolling off in 11th with Derek Paulson to his outside in 12th. Going on down through the field, we got Ty Morosco starting in 13th and Andy Poliski to his outside in 14th. Rick Thompson's going to be starting in 15th. Philip Van Vliet, the lone Dutchman, starting in 16th. Terry?
Corey Rutherford in the 5 in 17th spot. 18th will be Dustin Ping in that too. 19th, Joshua Rutherford in the 64, starting 20th. Tanner Marr in the 4. 21st spot is 28, Mike Hamlin. 22nd will be Chris Legue in the 71. 23rd spot, I gotta switch screens. Sam, take it please.
Paul Ellison and Steven Johnson to his outside in 24th. Kyle the Wild Man Wellman rolling off in 25th. Brad Collins 26th. Larry Bell, Donald Bennett, Fred Thompson, and Mackenzie Roone round out the field here this evening at New Hampshire.
I keep looking at the wrong screen when I read them off, so as soon as they start moving, it changes everything. I think I've learned this stuff by now.
You'd think. Maybe one day, Terry.
Someday.
Drivers getting ready to go 182 laps here at New Hampshire. Halfway point at lap 91. Who's going to be the driver to get it? You heard Terry say about lap 35, we're going to have to start looking for green flag pit stops. No competition cautions, no stages here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be straight up racing, and green flag is in the air.
Cody Gibson did not get a good jump of that. Chris Carroll right on his outside as Gibson slides up onto the 99.
Yeah, we got a good battle here going on for the race lead. Chris Carroll's got the momentum on the high side going down the back stretch, but if we go back and take a look at third, Hank Caston trying to hold off the number 88 of Jamie Walker, and everybody else side by side as we go into 3 and 4. Almost contact there between the number 10 and the number 12 as we go through the center of 3 and 4. That's Mark Arthur and Taylor Butcher Benjamin fighting for 7th.
Back up front, Carroll actually got around Cody Gibson, and Walker's now made do with Hank Caston, got up behind the 7 car of Cody Gibson.
You know, and that's not something that Cody has to worry about right now. I mean, he can just kind of get behind the 99 right now and just ride. Remember, Terry was talking about saving that right front tire. I mean, Carroll got a good jump there. He got around the 7. Long way to go here tonight. Just kind of ride and figure out what your next plan of attack is.
Yeah, hell, we still got 179 laps. We got a long way to go in this thing.
As Jamie Walker sets the fastest lap of the race currently, a 30.88 for the number 88 of Jamie Walker.
Tell you what, Sam, I'm going back through the field, man. These guys are getting this thing stretched out already.
Yeah, I was noticing that too, Terry. They're starting to single file out a little bit. We got a battle going on back here between, it looks like Dave Seats, Taylor Butcher Benjamin. It's the first side-by-side battle we got. That is a battle for 8th as Dave Seats goes ahead and clears him going into 1 and 2. Now Derek Paulson, teammates Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Brian Dees and Ty Morosco all back in this pack as Corey Sherman's starting to fall back a little bit.
Yeah, there for about 2 laps. Seen the 3 car of Sherman racing against Ty Morosco in that 1 car, and you said Corey has dropped back just a little bit.
Yeah, Corey started in 11th position. He's falling back to 13th right now, but again, could just be riding right now. No sense pushing the car too hard. We're going to be seeing pit stops here in about, I'd say 35, 40 laps. So, I don't know, Terry. We're going to, remember, these guys only get 4 sets of tires up on pit wall, so they're going to have to manage those all night long, especially if they're saying that the right front's going to burn off that quickly.
So one thing I did hear tonight during practices, if these guys can do long green runs, fuel to fuel, they can do this and change tires every time.
All right.
But it's New Hampshire.
It is New Hampshire. But these guys are doing a good job so far, Terry. I mean, you said it. They're getting pretty strung out right now, kind of getting single file, just kind of riding. You know, seeing what their car's going to do, seeing what's going to happen here when they're in traffic. A lot of these guys did some practice earlier, but when you're in practice, you don't have this traffic in front of you. You don't have all that dirty air. So how is that going to affect your race car here early in this race, and not to mention later on?
Sam, I was actually listening. It sounds like Dustin Ping was having problems somewhere.
Let's go back and take a look at the 0 of Dustin Ping. Sitting back here in 17th. He's up 1 spot since the start of the race. He's got Tanner Marr right behind him there in 18th. And he pulled it down the racetrack there, Terry. I thought he was maybe thinking of bringing it down pit road, but he keeps it out on the racetrack. So whatever problem he had in that 0, looks like he's got it rectified.
Oh, good deal. I just happened to notice before I switched over there, Mark Arthur was actually challenging the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. Mark got to the inside of the 41 and could not hold that spot. He actually got the back end just a little sideways, had to back off. That gave John Perkins a big old jump up to the backside of the 12th car.
Well, they single file back out. Mark's starting to run that 41 back down. As we go back up to the front of the field, Chris Carroll still leads the way. Cody Gibson has fallen back to 3rd. So Jamie actually got around Cody there a couple laps ago. Now Hank Aston runs 4th, and Dalton Kilroe your top 5.
Jamie Walker right now is our points leader. 2 wins this season and 2 top 3s to add on to that. So Jamie Walker, he told me he wants to, like I said, keep that points lead as the race ends tonight. We seen Jamie Walker last week, Sam, at the Glen. Man, he was running with Dave Seach real good, trying to catch him and win that race at the Glen. But, man, lap traffic got the best of the 88.
Yeah, Dave Seach last week, first-time winner here in the Blazing Pedals Xfinity Series. And actually, he's taking that momentum and kind of running with it, Terry. He's up here running in the top 10 right now, sitting in 8th. And with as many laps as we got to go, he's in a good position right now.
Yeah, Dave Seats in that 14. I talked to him before his race, and again, he is last week's winner. The big thing for Dave Seats this week, he said, man, I just don't want the damage on the nose of this car, because we found out that these things can overheat if you get too much damage on these noses.
Yeah, so just to inform the people at home, what these drivers are referring to is that everybody is on the same setup. So they are running what they call the iRacing fixed setup, but it's the iRacing Open. So it has a little bit more tape on the nose of the grill, adds a little bit more downforce to these cars. So when you get any kind of damage on the front of that race car, what Terry said, it's going to heat up. And we saw it happen last week. I mentioned it when Chris Carroll got into the back of Brad Collins at Watkins Glen. We got to keep an eye on that 99. And what happened, Terry? His engine expired there with only a couple laps to go.
Yeah, going for the win, had a huge lead. And, man, just unfortunate for the 99 blowing that motor. Mark Arthur, Dalton Kilroe racing side by side again, Sam.
Yeah, and this is allowing all these guys behind him to kind of catch up. Mark trying to get a run there on the bottom side of the racetrack down the back straightaway. He is hanging tough right next to Kilroe. Kilroe holding it on the outside line. But here comes John Perkins, Dave Seats, Taylor Butcher-Benjamin, and Derek Paulson.
Now, Dalton Kilroe did not take one practice lap, I don't believe, Sam. If he did, it was very minimal. I did talk to him. He said he's been tired and is, we know he had surgery in off season, and it's still bugging him a little bit.
Oh, he's out here running in the top 5, and he's racing Mark really hard here for this 5th position. Now, we know these two, they're friends, right? We know they're going to race each other pretty hard, and they're doing it more or less, not that they don't like each other, but it's fun.
Mark Arthur gets around the 41, slides up in front of him. Kilroe had to hit the brakes so we didn't wreck each other.
I tell you what, he was clear, and all he did was right there, Terry, is he slides up, takes the air off of that 41's nose, and like you said it, Kilrow had to back out of it. Mark Arthur gets position, put Mark Arthur up in the top 5.
Tell you what, I see a fast car out there in that number 10 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. He is just running down these guys, and now the fight in front of him is over. Maybe you can get that 10 up through there.
Yeah, and Taylor's somebody that, I mean, he is kind of, I hate to say it, desperately looking for a good finish, right? He's had such a up and down season so far. He's been involved in quite a few accidents this season, not really of his own doing either. Just kind of having some bad luck at the beginning of the season, but right now might be turning around as he battles his teammate here for the 9th position.
And Taylor Doc Butcher Benjamin right now is in our 8th place in our points. No wins, and I don't believe he's even been in the top 3 yet, Sam. So, yeah, TBB is definitely looking for something for the season.
Fighting hard on the inside lane there with Derek Paulson. Dave Seats also getting the pressure there, or actually he's pressuring the 33 as he goes around John Perkins and move Dave Seats up into 7th.
It's nice seeing John Perkins in that 33 up in the top 10 there.
He's another driver, Terry. He's kind of been having an up and down season thus far. We've seen him up near the front of the pack, but you know, we've also seen him have some bad luck situations as well. Didn't run all that great last week, but up here running in the top 10.
Chris Carroll right now a little over 2 seconds in front of Jamie Walker.
Yeah, Chris Carroll is, he got out to the race lead, and as I was saying before, that clean air really does make a difference on these race cars, especially with the Xfinity car. But who's to say that Carroll isn't maybe going out and just burning up his stuff right now too, Terry? I mean, 2.5 seconds, that's a lot here in 19 laps. Jamie's just been kind of cruising. I mean, Cody Gibson has been right on the back bumper ever since Jamie got around him. So are these guys back here maybe saving a little bit more than Chris Carroll is?
Well, we've talked and seen Jamie do that before in the past. He said, man, I'm just going to ride around, save my stuff a little bit, see what I have at the end of this thing.
I mean, you can even see it right here. He's kind of running different lines around the racetrack, maybe trying to figure something out a little different than everybody else. I mean, here he goes to the bottom. He's got Cody Gibson to his outside. Gibson goes a little wide there in 1 and 2, but look at Jamie all the way down on the yellow line.
And Hank Caston in that 36 gets up right beside him. Hank got a good run off of that turn too.
And Jamie goes back down to the bottom side of the racetrack again. Is he maybe running that low line trying to conserve a little bit of tire?
Very well could be.
He's going to allow Mark Arthur to even go by right here on the high side.
Tell you what, Steve, I've got comms on, and I'm not. These guys aren't saying nothing out here tonight.
Lap 21 of 182. We still got a long way to go in this one. Is everybody starting to really single file out, really get this race going, I guess you could say, essentially, because here, you said it, Terry, we're going to see these guys come down pit road probably in the next 20 laps.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to have to. And it's way too early for anybody to do a Dalton Kilrow, Captain Save Fuel, start clutching this thing.
So we take a look right here. That's Chris Carroll. And you see the gap back to Cody Gibson now, which is about 3.5 seconds. Mark Arthur just got around Jamie Walker, Hank Caston as well.
I think Hank Caston might be starting to look for points late in the season. I mean, anything can happen in the way we're doing our points now.
And I'm wondering now that these tires are starting to wear in, Terry, if maybe some of these guys aren't getting a little bit more loose. I mean, we just seen it right there. Dave Seats, he just went into the corner in 1 and 2, got a little out of shape, managed to catch it, but them tires are definitely starting to fall off. I mean, we're talking these drivers were setting their fastest lap of the race, obviously, on the first couple of laps. They were running 31 zeros, 31 twos, and so forth. Last time by race leader, a 32.0. So they've already dropped a whole second already since the drop of the green flag on these sets of tires.
Yeah, they're definitely going to wear these tires out quick tonight after 24 laps. Yeah, they're going to have to watch what they're doing, man. If they can go green stops completely through the night, they'll be okay. They'll be able to get tires each and every time they come to pit lane. But is somebody going to double stint and have that one in the bank at the end?
I don't know. And the real question is it really going to matter? I mean, we're going to have to see how. I mean, we just said that there's a second difference, but the thing is, even if you get a late race caution, Terry, and you are the only one that comes in to take the tires, you still have to get through pretty much the entire field. So, caution on the speedway. First caution of the night.
It looks like Hamlin, Rutherford, and Johnson may have got tangled up into this one.
Oh, yeah. It's Stephen T. Johnson, Mike Hamlin make contact. Let's go back and get another look at that. They go down in the corner, and it looks like maybe Johnson might have come up there. That's a hard angle. It's hard to see. Hamlin was entering the corner as normal.
I think Joshua Rutherford was just there and had nowhere to go. Almost got the Johnson's car straightened out.
Let's go back, take one more look at it. Yeah, just going down in the corner. They just make door contact, and yeah, Rutherford nowhere to go.
I'm sorry, that was not Johnson that he tried to straighten out.
Mike Hamlin, 28. That's who he straightened out.
Yep.
And pit road's busy, Terry. Chris Carroll leads him down pit road.
I'm going to stick on that 99 car. Now I'm wondering, because they still got a ways to go before they actually need to hit the pits.
Right now, I'm seeing tires going up on the 36. Chris Carroll, fuel only. So here's the thing, Terry. I mean, that might be a good call, because you got to think they didn't really get to run the whole run there on them set of tires. Now, you were saying if this went green flag that they could probably go and take tires every stop. I think everybody's just going to kind of save a set here, except for looks like Hank Caston, Dave Seats taking tires. Looks like John Perkins, Rick Thompson, the Dutchman, he's taking tires. Brad Collins, Donald Bennett. Bunch of guys near the rear of the field, maybe trying to gain some track position here, thinking we might get another quick yellow.
Well, that is very possible. Hank Caston, like you said, he is the only one that took tires out of the top 11. He needs to get up front, because if something else happens, he'll have all that stuff behind him on them fresh tires. The hammer came down. He is the 28 car is getting penalized for that one. So the 28 car will be going to the end of the line.
All right. So Mike Hamlin receives the EOL, and we were looking at that, and the hammer's kind of got his work cut out for him on that one, Terry, because I was looking at that, and it just looks like two drivers who kind of maybe just went to the center of the racetrack at the exact same time.
And don't look now, Chris Carroll, but Mark Arthur's on your backside. Again, we know Mark Arthur, this is his kind of track. You're going to see if he kind of saves some tires for this.
Yeah, Mark actually had a really good pit stop there, a 7.08 second pit stop compared to Cody Gibson's 8.98. And Mark was able to gain a couple of positions there on pit road. So, yeah, up to second. Let's see what he can do here now that he's actually up here. We're getting ready to go back green already, Terry. It looks like a short caution.
Oh, you know what? I could have swore I heard the hammer say that was on the 28, but I have not yet seen anybody have to go to the back. So, I mean, again, you and I were still talking while he was talking, so he may have just called that a racing incident.
That's very possible.
All right, Sam, let's hope cautions don't breed cautions. It's still too early in this race.
Well, we're going to find out. I think these guys did a really good job here on that initial restart, so they kind of know what they got to do here on this one.
Oh, wow. Big jump out of the 99 out of Carroll.
Yeah, he was able to get a good launch going down into 1 and 2. Is Mark Arthur going to be able to clear Walker? He does. So everybody looking for position now. Dalton Kira looks to the inside of Cody Gibson coming off of turn number 2.
Got him single file 1 and 2. Then we got 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 3 or 4 rows back, Sam.
Yeah, I'm trying to really watch everybody just to kind of see what's going on back here, because I'm watching the guys who are on fresher tires being like Hank Caston, because this is something we need to watch for the end of the race, right? You said if someone saves a set of tires, I mean, you see it right here. They are just in traffic. Now, everybody in front of them still on the same set of tires that they started on, and they're just not making ground. As Dave Seats, what in wide move by the number 14. I'm kind of speechless on that one. Set it down in there and just passed 2 cars for 1.
Seats on fresh tires. He actually took tires right there. Him and 36 and Hank Caston. So,
and that's the thing. Those are the moves you're going to have to make to take advantage of these fresher tires.
Oh, the 10 car, electrical problems. 17 hit the wall a little bit.
I don't think anybody knew. They were 3 wide right there when Taylor disappeared. I hate to say that, but we kind of saw it, and that's what everybody checked up right there, and it looked like Tom Roscoe might have gotten the outside wall just a little bit.
Hank Caston's still working under the 10 right now. Up Taylor. Whoa!
Ooh, Corey
One
Sherman,
car into the, oh, we got him turning.
Yeah. Oh. Saw it kind of happen live, Terry. I was watching. You were watching the guys up ahead of him. I saw Corey Sherman go down into the corner, and
we got 22 spinning.
Ty Morosco make contact after the caution has already been out. We got to go back and watch the 3 car here, because oh no. He goes down into the corner, Terry, but him and the 33 actually make contact on entry, and it looked like Sherman was trying to just catch it, which he does, and then comes up and gets into the one of Morosco. And we got to watch the one of Morosco here. So Sherman down in, gets up into Morosco. He just got loose coming off the corner and came back down into Brad Collins. I don't know if he was just trying to get it back up and going, but Mark Arthur, unscheduled stop down pit road, Terry.
Man. I'm going to have to listen to what the Hammer does say about this one here. This is going to be interesting.
It was an interesting wreck. Keep it quiet here for a second. Let Terry listen to the Hammer.
All right, Sam. He was, basically everybody's hitting everybody. What brought out the caution was the 33 and the 3 getting tangled up together. The 33 of Perkins will be getting the EOL.
It's an interesting call.
Very interesting call. But hey, I have faith in the Hammer. Garrett
that's
out there.
what race control is going to call, Terry. That's race control has the final say. It doesn't matter what we say, right? I mean, and I'm not disagreeing with them. We saw the contact there on the entry of the corner. It was between Perkins and Sherman. And yeah, like he said, there's a lot going on right there. You had that initial contact. Sherman goes down in the corner, tries to save it, gets into Morosco. A lot of other drivers actually doing a really good job to get around that, though. So there wasn't too many cars taken out in that one. But I think the biggest letdown on that one was after the caution came out, the 22 and the 1 making contact again. Because the 22, he had some pretty significant front end damage, Terry, and we were talking about it earlier. I mean, we know what's going to happen. He's going to have to maintain the temperatures of that race car now.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a couple cars out here. It's going to have to start watching for that blinking red light.
Well, Chris Carroll still continues to lead the way. We got Cody Gibson in second. Derek Paulson actually has moved up to third. How about Dave Seats? He is on them fresher tires. He's managed to find his way up in fourth. And rounding out the top five is Dalton Kilrow. Mark Arthur, unscheduled pit stop coming down there on lap 34. Him and Jamie Walker both, along with a few others as well. Mike Hamlin, Donald Bennett, Fred Thompson, Philip Van Vliet, and a couple other guys. So we're getting ready to go back to green. But then again, Terry, I keep saying unscheduled. It might have been scheduled in Mark's mind. He might have wanted to come down. He only took fuel, so he's going to be able to go a little bit longer, maybe thinking that we're going to get a long green flag run coming up here.
Or maybe, again, maybe he is. We've seen what the 14 and the 36 has done with these fresh tires. They work, I mean, just only in a few laps, Sam. So maybe Mark's thinking, man, I'll just keep one in the bank.
Either that, or maybe he's thinking we're going to get another quick caution, and these other front runners are going to come down and top off, and then he'll be able to maintain track position.
Brake checking on that bottom line hard.
Carroll fires them off. We're back underway. He gets a good launch going down into 1 and 2. We're on board with the number 7 of Cody Gibson there for a second. Derek Paulson looking to the inside. Dave Seats trying to make something happen up on the top side with them fresh tires. Here he is to the outside of the 6.
Paulson really not trying to do anything with the 14 of Seats. He probably knows Hank Casson trying to get underneath the 10 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin and bringing a 76 of Thompson with him. I believe Thompson is actually a lap down.
Caution flag on the speedway, Terry.
Wow.
Let's see what happened here.
Maybe
Morosco?
Todd Morosco, Brad Collins, maybe?
That's exactly who it was. And, you know, if Collins wasn't mad already,
right?
I think he might be a little upset now, because that's 2 times now that Morosco has gotten into him. Once under caution and now once under green. And yeah, it just looks like Morosco, I mean, pushes up the track there and gets into the 22 and sends him around. And guarantee Brad Collins ain't going to be too happy about that, Terry. We're under caution once again, ladies and gentlemen. We got Cody Gibson coming down pit road, same with Corey Sherman. Other than that, everybody stays out on track. What do you say, Terry? Quick commercial break?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Shut up and sit down.
Let's hope.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back live here on True Sim Productions, getting ready to go back under the green flag. Chris Carroll, Dave Seats lead them down to the restart zone, fires them off, and we're back underway. And for this one, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we do a little bit of a crank it up? Ladies and gentlemen, gotta love the crank it up cameras. Let's go back up to the front of the field where Dave Seats has taken over the race lead on them fresh tires. Last pit on lap number 26. Chris Carroll is now in second. He's got Derek Paulson right behind him. Dalton Kilrow in fourth, who's now under pressure from Rick Thompson, who last pit on lap 26, Terry, and also took 4 tires.
Yeah, the other guys you're mentioning, Carroll, he also pitted on 26. We've seen him just take fuel only. Derek Paulson, same thing, fuel only, lap 26. Hank Catherine finally got up to 5th place on them fresh tires, and he took it lap 26.
So Rick Thompson doing a good job moving up through the field. Hank Caston took tires as well on 26, and he's back there in 5th. But Dalton Kilrow, now, see, Terry, this is what I was talking about. You got a bunch of different strategies going on here, and Dalton Kilrow is one of them guys who didn't take tires, and he's right behind that number 36 of Caston, who did.
But Dalton has not been really under pressure. We've seen him and Mark Arthur in a 12 car duking it out earlier, but I don't think Dalton's pushing his car all that hard. And Lord, we see you out there. Mark actually made an unscheduled pit stop, we believe. I think that's what happened to him and put him back here.
He's looking to the inside of Morosco. Morosco tried to take a move to the inside of Rutherford there. Mark's still trying to work his way back up through the field since that pit stop on lap 40, but remember, everybody else pit on 26 or earlier, so Mark's going to be able to go the longest here.
Yeah, Dustin Ping actually got around the 12 car, and that looks like, Brad Collins in a 22. We know he's not too happy right now, trying to work his way up around the 12. 33 of Perkins almost looks, the front end of that almost looks like a modified.
Yeah, and the 22 is missing the rear clip on that Ford Mustang.
I thought it looked a little shorter.
You know, I'll tell you what, I bet if that 22 gets up to that one car, he might give him a little bit of a bump. I don't think he's going to wreck him. I don't want to say he's going to wreck him because we don't do intentional wrecking here in Blazing Pedals, but I could see him saying, hey, you know, I'm here.
Hey, knock on the door. Remember me?
That's exactly it. Let's go back and talk about him, Terry. Mr. Where did he come from? Andy Poliski. He's up 5 spots since the drop of the green flag. Just kind of back there being quiet. 9th.
Actually, I got notes. You know, I always say Poliski, the sleeper man. He's got one top 3. He got that at Sonoma, but he's 9th in points, Sam, without that win. So Andy Poliski in that 32 is doing awesome this season. Steve T. Johnson trying to work his way around TBB in that 10 car. TBB says, no, sir, not yet.
Yeah, Steven Johnson last pit on lap 34, Terry. 29-second pit stop, probably to get a little damage fixed. He was involved in that one accident. Car looks good, though.
Actually, right now, Sam, Steven Johnson, he is up 17 spots, up to 7th place. Right now, he is our big mover. That's points for that 30 car.
A little under 40 laps to go to the halfway point, Terry. Right now, Dave Seats is on track to win it.
Dave Seats now 1.18 seconds above Chris Carroll. Kind of looks like Dave Seats just driving along, trying to manage his equipment.
I think he might have burned his stuff up there a little bit coming through the field, Terry, because if we compare lap times, last time by, Chris Carroll was running only a little under a tenth slower, but the lap before that, they were pretty much running even times. So the tire fall off is real here tonight in New Hampshire, but Dave Seats did what he had to do, got himself out there in the lead. He's got the track position. Now, as long as this race stays green, all he has to do is manage it and go for 2 in a row here tonight.
Sam, I'm actually riding along with Dave Seats. He is actually shifting.
Let's go on board with him. I don't hear him shifting, Terry.
You watch those RPMs.
Yeah, no shifting.
Well, we must be listening to 2 different things.
I don't think they'd shift here, to be honest, Terry. I mean, if they do, they're really trying to get that car wound up coming off the corner. But I think at these long green flag runs, I really would be surprised to see a lot of guys shifting here.
Let's go back to the question I'm going to ask some of these guys if we get a chance to tonight.
You see Dave Seats kind of changing up his line a little bit there coming out of 1 and 2. He's running a little bit lower on the racetrack on the exit of the corner. And what I've always known is why they do that, Terry, is it's to kind of straighten off that corner, get a good run out, but not only that, to make sure your car doesn't push tight up into the outside wall. This is one of them tracks we know is notorious for that. Guys will get tight and come up and get into that outside retaining wall coming off the corner.
Yeah, I mean, you are definitely faster in a straighter line. So, yeah, so these guys are going to make this thing as straight as they possibly can, even with these 4 turns.
Rick Thompson found his way up to 4th. He got around Derek Paulson. He's up 11 spots since the drop of the green flag. We're coming to take a lap 60. And I'd say we're going to be seeing green flag pit stops here in about 10 or so laps, Terry.
Yeah, we're not far from it, that's for sure. Hank Caston working underneath the 99 of Chris Carroll. Makes AZ work out of the 99 with that Fresher's tires.
Yeah, it looks like almost Chris Carroll kind of let him by right there.
Looks like the back of the 36 might have a little bit of damage on it.
That it does.
Again, aerodynamics doesn't play a huge role here.
Got a good green flag run going. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break. But when we come back, green flag pit stop. Stick around.
Put the power of Southern Shores Realty to work for you. With over 30 professionals in sales and rental management, Southern Shores Realty and I will get the job done right. I'm Rick Thompson, your Outer Banks real estate expert.
Call 261-2000.
Shut up and sit down.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we are back from that commercial break. Blazing Pedals Xfinity Series brought to you by Savage Edge. Right now we're watching Dave Seats. He got around Chris Carroll.
We couldn't have got a better timing there, Terry. I'm sorry to kind of interrupt you there, but we're under caution. We came as soon as we came back for the commercial, caution flag flew. Looks like we got problems here for the number 46, Fred Thompson. Ooh, yeah. They were 3 wide. Mark Arthur, Corey Rutherford, and Fred Thompson. Ooh, Jamie Walker got involved.
Walker, yeah.
Oh man. Can we go? We got to go back. Yeah, we got to go back and take another look at this. So they're all trying to work their way around. It looks like Fred Thompson here. We went back a whole corner. Ellison gets by him. Looks like Rutherford's trying to get by him as well. Yeah, him and 46 make contact, and then Walker just nowhere to go. That's a shame.
And that is a dead stop for Fred Thompson hitting them barricades.
Well, we're on pit lane, Terry. And we're going to be seeing everybody come down now. Probably everybody going to be taking a set of tires here, I imagine. We were close to green flag pit stops there.
Yeah, I can see everybody taking tires this round.
See a lot of right sides, left sides going up, Terry. Race off pit road. Steven Johnson actually stayed out. But
Steven Johnson got them 5 points.
Yeah, it gets them 5 points. But Hank Caston wins the race off pit road as we see everybody else coming off pit road. Mark Arthur still on pit road. Jamie Walker, heavy front end damage by the number 88. And maybe we'll get to talk to him in the infield care center. I'm curious to see what Steven Johnson's going to do. He stayed at, Johnson's slow on the backstretch, Terry. Out of fuel, I think, the number 30.
Oh, no. And now, he could be pushed in by another car, just can't do it on the last lap. He doesn't get that off track, they cannot go green.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to get it coasted. I mean, he has every right to at least try, right? I mean, he is still moving. These guys are still under caution. I'm keeping a camera on him. I mean, he's about to come to a stop right here. Maybe, no, he gets it fired up, gets it moving.
Okay, Johnson actually got a black flag. I just happened to see this. It got cleared. Fred Thompson actually was given the EOL on this for this wreck.
Okay.
That's all I'm seeing at the moment.
Yeah, I just see he got his black flag here on lap 71. He came down pit road with everybody else, Terry, but I don't know.
Well, the newcomer this season to Blazing Pedals is now in the lead of this race, 36 car of Hank Caston. He's got Dave Seats on his outside. Hank did not take tires this time. Dave Seats did. And so did Rick Thompson. Rick Thompson, happy birthday to you, buddy, yesterday. I think he turned 47, 48. I don't know. I have no clue how old he is. But happy birthday, Rick Thompson. Hope you have a good night tonight.
I'm just taking a look down through timing and scoring right now, Terry. And yeah, pretty much everybody but looks like 3 drivers inside the top 10 took tires. Those 3 drivers being the 36 of Hank Caston, 28 of Mike Hamlin, and the 0 of Dustin Ping.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to get interesting out for this top 5 drivers now with Caston and Hamlin not taking tires.
Green flags back out in the air. Caston didn't really get a good launch there, Terry. Dave Seats got a great launch, going to pass him on the outside. Dave Seats back to the race lead.
Seats again, fresh tires. Chris Carroll actually took tires this time around, so are we going to see that 99 work around this traffic again?
He's looking to the inside of Caston right now as Rick Thompson works his way around. We go on board with the number 36 here. You see Carroll going around. He tried to get a run on Thompson as well, just wasn't able to get there. Lap 76.
7 to Gibson working around. Oh, wow. We're going to get it bunched up here. The 6, the 3, the 28, the 41. All I had to slow down a little bit right there, coming out of 2.
And Corey Sherman, he's up 4 spots since the start of the race. Now looking to the inside at 36. Mike Hamlin's actually doing a pretty good job here. He started up there on that restart, but he's not going back nearly as quick as this number 36 is.
We seen Hamlin get tied up into an incident a little earlier. He's coming back from that real good now as he is in the top 10. Getting passed by the number 10 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Bringing along teammate 17 of Brian Dees trying to work his way around the 28 car.
Ty Morosco has been involved in a couple incidents tonight. He's back up in the A spot, just made his way around Hank Caston. Now Taylor Butcher Benjamin going to the outside of that 36.
Seen Tanner Marr kind of come into the picture, getting around. Who did he get around? The 28 of Hamlin, I'm sorry. Dave Seeds with a well over 1 second lead over second place Chris Carroll at the moment.
Yeah, doing a good job out here, Terry, leading laps. I mean, if he keeps this up, he might get the most laps led here tonight. Chris Carroll and Seats last time by almost identical lap times. So Seats got something figured out here at New Hampshire.
So Sam, I'm looking at their pit times. I noticed Chris Carroll was in there over 15 seconds. He must have had to get a little bit of damage fixed from something.
Could have scraped the outside wall a little bit, not sure, but car looks fine.
And for anybody that's a Kyle Wellman fan, he has been in the pits for 41 minutes. I think Wellman may be done. I actually got to talk to Wellman. He says this is not his favorite track. He's not a big fan of this one, and I think he took on some damage and just parked it. Dave Seats still good.
Derek Paulson just worked his way around Rick Thompson. Seats out to about a second gap now. Last time by again for the top 2. They were pretty identical. Seats about a 10th slower than Carroll that time by.
Rick Thompson in between a hornet's nest and the MFRD drivers, the 41 behind him. Dalton Kilbride making his way around Rick Thompson, or trying to anyway. Corey Sherman, excuse me, also trying to follow suit with the 41 to get around Rick Thompson on the bottom side.
He looks to the inside here in 1 and 2. And Rick Thompson, I'm not sure if he's got something going on in that number 76 or what's going on, but he could just be saving tires, Terry. I mean, he has fallen back to 7th here on this restart, and he was also one of them drivers who took tires. So maybe a little strategy being played by that number 76 Ford Mustang.
Very well could be. I can't remember where he started at. Started in 15th place, made his way up to 6th at the moment. So it might be a little bit of a strategy.
Ty Morosco trying to take a peek to the outside, back up to the front of the field. Chris Carroll has ran down Dave Seats. Gap now 0.3 of a second. And Cody Gibson as well. Here comes Cody.
Cody Gibson, he's got the 1 win this season and 2 top 3s. Not doing too bad. Which Chris Carroll running 2nd place. As of right now, he's got a win, 2 top 3s, 3 poles, and 1 outside pole. So Chris Carroll at 99 has actually put some good numbers on the board for the season so far. Right now, I believe Chris is actually in 3rd place in our points battle.
It's Speaking of battle for the race lead, side by side going into one. Oh, Carroll and Seats make contact.
Oh, it
Cody
takes Gibson with them.
involved. Caution flag on the speedway. Oh my God, Terry, I'm sorry for screaming, but bad luck for the 14. And you know what? I'm sorry. I kind of watched it happen live. I think Carroll went in a little too hot on that one.
Yeah, it's definitely between Seats, Carroll, and Gibson that are top 3 runners for the most part of this race. Wow. What a turn of events.
Yep.
But
I'm sorry, Terry. We went back and looked at it. It's exactly what happened. Carroll went in a little too hot, came up in, and I think Dave Seats said, and yeah, you know, rightfully so. I mean, that was really close, tight race, and yeah, you can see the bobble right there on Chris Carroll as they go down in the corner. He just comes up and gets in the 14. If we listen to the hammer, Terry, I'd have to take a guess that's going to be the 99.
As soon as he pops up, I'm going to turn him up a little bit to actually have to hear what he says. I might have to turn you down. Man, what a... Chris Carroll's actually typing out there. He said he had a wheel hop.
I wouldn't say it wheel hopped. To me, it looks like he got a little loose. It looks like he just got hard on the brakes. Like he tried to go in a little too deep, right? To try and get that advantage. And... man, that just... Now, Dave Seats' car, he has right side damage, right? But short track like this, it shouldn't hurt him all that much. I'm surprised he didn't come down and at least try to get some of it fixed. But he knows he's got a fast race car. Man, unfortunate.
Yeah, I was sitting there looking at Dave Seats' car also. The front end looks fine. The back right corner, I think where he's slaying... Oh, wait a minute. I want to listen to the hammer.
That's fine. Just give Terry a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Give him some quiet.
All right, Sam. Just as we was watching there, that was put on Chris Carroll, the 99 car. He tried to make the pass, and we both seen it. He slides up into the 14 car of Seats, so the 99 will be getting the EOL.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of watched it live. Like I said, I mean, if he said he wheel hopped, that he's driving the race car, only he knows. But from our angle, it looks like he just kind of went down in the corner a little too hot and maybe slid the rear tires just a little bit with the rear brake bias into it. And just came up and got into the 14. And, unfortunately, Carroll got the worst end of that. Dave Seats looks like he's going to be able to continue, which is lucky for him and honestly good for him. He had such a good run last week taking home the win, and he was on his way to possibly winning again here tonight, but now damaged that number 14 Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, that right rear damage. Let's hope it doesn't do nothing to his tires, at least that back right. He's going to need that for a little turn and grip, but that thing blows. We're going to have problems.
Yeah, the handling of that race car is definitely going to be off. I mean, he does have a little crinkle there on the right front. You can see where he tapped the wall when him and Carroll got up into the outside wall. Like I said, Carroll got the worst of it. The whole front clip came off of the number 99's car. Same with Cody Gibson, who got involved. He's out there. He came down pit road, had the crew rip the whole front end off of it, Terry, and he's out there just trying to make laps.
So as we was watching that replay, Sam, I was watching the 6 car and the 41. How they had to be on point not to touch none of those 3 cars. So, Derek Paulson's thinking, man, I have a chance finally. So you got Derek Paulson on the outside of Seats with the 14 in the 6 car. And Seats right now is our leader on the inside.
Well, he's decided to keep it out on the racetrack, so the car must feel okay. Just have a little bit of cosmetic damage to that number 14. So we'll see what happens to him on this restart. He's going to be in control down in the restart zone.
Both these drivers did pit on lap 71, and both of them did take tires, Sam. Actually, the whole field all the way down to about a 14th place all took tires at lap 71. So we got us a new race.
The green flag is back out in the air, Terry.
Seat's got a nice jump, but he's got wow! Paulson sends that thing in.
Yeah, I think he was going to try and make a move there on the high side of Seats, but Seats came up to block it, and he lost all of his momentum. Now Kilrow looking for the race lead.
Kilrow going for the race lead, trying to bring 6 of Paulson with him. And right behind him is their teammate, Ty Morosco, in that one. Behind them is 3 of the Shermanator.
Hey, Corey Sherman actually doing a good job. He's been quiet pretty much most of the night, but now up inside top 5.
Sam, I just happened to look across the field. I seen the 42 hauler trying to get out of this track tonight. I think he's heading home, buddy, heading to Indianapolis.
Now, he ain't getting out until the race is over, though, Terry. Not here.
He's the first one at the gate.
At least I don't think so. I don't think this place has a tunnel. I'm not sure.
I don't think it does.
Well, we'll be seeing him at the hot dog stand on the infield then.
There you go. We got Corey Sherman trying to get around Seats right now. Corey Sherman, through the week, has actually won a couple of the other league races, though. Congratulations to the 3 car.
Well, how about this, Terry? Halfway point award, Dalton Kilrow.
There we go. Dalton Kilrow is our halfway TSP winner.
Dave Seats tried to hang on to it, but Dalton got around him last lap, and that was the battle basically for the halfway award. So True Sim Productions halfway award to the number 41 of Dalton Kilrow. Now,
remember, I told you at the beginning of this thing, Dalton didn't do a whole lot of laps for practice. Did Ty Morosco kind of rub off on him or something?
You know, I'm not sure, Terry, but I've raced with Dalton before in a couple of other different leagues, and I've raced him here. While he may not have a lot of wins at this racetrack, that 41 does run consistently well here. So maybe just a track that he's just naturally good at. So we have, I want to point out, MFRD out there leading the way. 1, 2, 3 right now.
We see out there Kyle Wellman actually came in because he had a blown motor to get it fixed, and he must have stepped away from his rig, and when he came back it blew up on him again. And it'll do that sitting there running.
Riding on board here with Ty Morosco, and we go back up to the front. Terry, Derek Paulson look for the race lead on the bottom side of the racetrack. Ooh, Kilrow got a little loose coming out of 4, and Paulson gave him a lot of room there. Side by side again as we go down into turns 1 and 2. Paulson in the middle, Dalton up on the top side.
Okay, Sam, so we got to rectify something real quick. We was talking about Kyle Wellman leaving. There is a tunnel, and it is under turn 2. I was sent a picture by the driver of the 44, Aaron Bockover.
Thank you, Aaron Bockover. We can always count on you, man.
Oh, my Lord. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it, man.
I could have swore I saw Wellman at the hot dog stand, though.
Well, it doesn't mean, just because a holler leaves doesn't mean he left.
I guess that's true. So Derek Paulson now out to the race lead, lap 97 of 182. Still a long way to go in this one, Terry. These drivers last pit on lap 71. So we should be seeing green flag pit stops here very shortly.
Yeah, I would say probably within the next, 10 laps or so?
Somewhere around there, I'd say, as Corey Sherman's still all over the back bumper of that number 1 of Ty Morosco. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Terry, you mentioned him earlier in the night. He's been another driver who's been kind of quiet. Up here in the top 5 on the back bumper of that number 3 machine of Corey Sherman. He's been trying to work his way up through this field. And another driver I want to point out, Mark Arthur in that number 12, slowly creeping his way back up through the field. Oh, as I say that, I'm sorry, Terry, he just got into the outside wall. Big lick to the number 12 to the outside wall coming out of 4. And we also saw Dave Seats might have got a little loose there coming out of 4. Tanner Marr had to avoid that one.
Well, what I was going to say is you was talking about Taylor Butcher Benjamin in that 10. Again, we've talked about this before in other races. We've seen Taylor Butcher Benjamin win races. We've seen that guy in top 3s, top 5s, top 10s. Taylor is still searching for that eluded win for the season or even getting up in the top 3.
Some good side-by-side battles going on back here in the middle of the pack. Terry, Mike Hamlin right now side-by-side with Poliski. Poliski's going to take that position. And Donald Bennett, who's up 16 spots since the start of this race. He's up there in 12th. A little 3-wide action going on coming out of 4 there almost. Rick Thompson, Brian Dees, Mike Hamlin. And Brian Dees trying to make his way back up through the field as well. He's currently in the same spot that he started in. Trying to work his way around Dave Seats.
We just got a gaggle of cars. No, I ain't going to go through that again. There's a bunch of cars back here with Rick Thompson.
Well, we got a couple of drivers who...
Seats high.
Oh, he's up into the... Yeah, he's heading to the outside wall. Going to lose a ton of spots here. A little loose on entry right there. Maybe that right rear damage is affecting the handling of that race car.
He keeps tagging a wall like that. He might straighten it out.
That's very true.
43 Larry Bell working his way around in that purple car around the 14. That's a pretty cool looking car.
Oh, we got 3 purple cars back here all together today. You got the lone Dutchman trying to work his way around Dave Seats as well, and then Larry Bell right in front of them.
Phil Van Fleet really trying to turn his season around. I talked to him through the week. Trying to get this season turned around. The best he's done so far this season was last week at the Glen. As he was explaining, says, man, the only time it seems like I run any good is at a road course. He wants to get that monkey off his back and get these ovals down.
Fella Van Vliet, the lone Dutchman, currently being scored in the 18th position, trying to work his way around Dave Seats. Let's go back up to the front, Terry. Derek Paulson has pulled on his teammate. 1.4 seconds right now. And Corey Sherman has found his way around Ty Morosco up to 3rd.
But he's still got Taylor Butcher Benjamin running right behind him. Mark Arthur actually gained some ground on the 10 and the 3.
The 10 had actually a pretty good run there coming out of 4, but it looks like he's just going to hang on to the back bumper to the 3, but that allows Mark Arthur to take a peek to the inside of the 10. And Taylor's going to pinch him down, trying to hang on to that spot.
Was Taylor trying to pinch him down? Was Mark trying to push him up?
I'd say Taylor's trying to pinch him down. Taylor wants to hang on to that spot right now. He's having a good run. He's had some bad luck this season. I guarantee he just wants to get the best finish he can. He's going to try and hold off somebody before he just lets him go, right? We know how Taylor races. We've seen him race in the past, and as we see it right there, he pinched Mark off in 1 and 2, realized Mark might have been a little bit faster, let him go in 3 and 4.
Taylor Butcher Benjamin trying to work back underneath of Mark Arthur.
And slots back in. So Mark Arthur now up to 4th, ladies and gentlemen.
So all these guys in the top 11 are on the same tires. I'll take that back. Mike Hamlin actually stopped on lap 86 and took tires.
That he did. And he's making up some ground too. He's to the outside here of Rick Thompson.
Sam, we got to start seeing pit stops here shortly.
Yeah, I would imagine we would. We're on board here with Mike Hamlin in number 28. He's side by side with Rick Thompson. They're racing pretty hard. And as you said, he's got about 10 lap fresher tires. Paul Ellison, I think, is going to be one of the first drivers to short pit here, Terry, because he's the only car on pit road right now.
Paul Elson in that 55. I'm going to ride along with him, see if he gets some damage fixed or get tires or what he's going to do. Yep, right side goes up. Left side up. Down in the way with that fresh tires and a full tank of fuel. Derek Paulson's catching up to the lap car of Walker, just making easy work of the 88 car. It's also looking like a modified.
Yeah, he took a really heavy hit on the front end of that race car, and I don't think he's going to have to worry about it overheating, Terry.
So, you know what? Like I said, I talked to Walker. He said he wants to remain in the points lead. This could very well keep him in the points lead since Cody and Chris both were involved in that incident with him.
It could, but could one of these drivers who maybe were behind them snag a win and jump up in points?
Yeah, Derek Paulson wins. He'll be jumping up. Dalton Kilroe can actually move up. So, yeah, I mean, anything can happen.
Thought for a second there Derek Paulson was going to bring it down pit side. Just was running kind of a high to low exit there. Just waiting for these drivers to come down pit road as a couple more work in progress drivers, Andy Poliski, Joshua Rutherford, bring their cars down pit road. Poliski now being scored in 22nd. He got 4 fresh tires on that stop.
All right, we've got them starting to call out the pits. Corey Sherman actually called his out. John Perkins is calling his out. So one thing Blazing Pedals does not make these guys do is call out a pit stop. They can pit anytime they want. They don't have to warn nobody. And I haven't heard a lot of chatter about who is and who isn't pitting.
Well, Kilroe on pit road, Sherman on pit road, John Perkins is on pit road. We're staying on the 41 right here to see what he does. Down into his stall. Right sides go up. So it's probably going to be a 4-tire stop here for Dalton Kilroe. Let's go back up to Derek Paulson. He's coming out of turn 4 right now. He keeps it out on the racetrack.
31 Donald Bennett just calling out his pit. Paulson's going to go around another time.
Corey Sherman actually beat Dalton off pit road. But Corey Sherman only took fuel. So it's the 3-car trying to play a little bit of strategy here.
I'm kind of watching. Is Paulson waiting on Arthur to pit?
I'm not sure. He still stays out. I don't know how much I like that call by the 3-car, Terry. No tires here on this pit stop. He's going to lose a lot of ground, and I don't know if he's going to be able to gain it back up if this thing stays green.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of ground, that's for sure. And he's going to have a caution at some point to get them tires at the 41. Tries to get a lap back the old-fashioned way, earning it, getting around the 6-car.
Paulson's going to have to pit here. I mean, he already has lost the lead if he can. Yeah, he stays out again. I mean, he's lost the lead already. I would assume. Normally, if you're out on the track, ladies and gentlemen, you got the guy who was in second. That was Kilroe right behind you. He came down pit road already. I mean, as soon as Kilroe gets to you to get his lap back, you want to bring that car down pit road because you know it's going to be a tight battle off as Dalton just continues to pull away. I think Paulson's in his mind right now, Terry. He's thinking fresher tires. I'm going to have fresher tires if I stay out a couple more laps.
Hell, Mark Arthur just called his pit, so second place runner Mark Arthur, he actually coming down. I bet we see Paulson go this time.
I mean, I would imagine he has to at this point because with Mark coming in and Dalton pulling as much time as he has, I don't see that 6-car staying out much longer.
He still has not called out a pit, but he has nobody behind him for almost 5 seconds. Taylor Butcher Benjamin calling his pit out. Here comes the 6.
Yeah,
here comes the leader, Derek Paulson.
Corey Sherman gets around him, gets his lap back. Taylor Butcher Benjamin following his teammate down pit road. Mike Hamlin, who last pit on lap 86. He's going to keep it out on the racetrack and take over the race lead. 5 bonus points to the number 28.
That's 45 laps of that 6-car, Sam. he pushed that thing to empty, I think.
So now we know Hamlin can stay out about 10 laps longer. Now, if he could get a caution right now, that would help him a ton. He's fighting with Paul Ellison right here. Ellison was one of the first drivers to come down pit road for this set of green flag pit stops.
Okay, I'm kind of looking at numbers here. I was checking out Derek Paulson. He did take tires on that pit stop as he just flies by Corey Sherman, man, just walking away from him.
Right now, I'm watching the race leader. He's in a bunch of lap traffic right now. John Perkins trying to get his lap back right now. But Philip Van Vliet, he's also in some traffic. He last pit on lap 86, Terry, and he took fuel only. So he can go about 10 laps longer than these guys as well.
Right. He may actually be watching Hamlin, see what he does. And I just have to look. Hamlin up 20 spots from the start of this thing, along with Stephen T. Johnson. He's up also 20 spots. Oh, Hamlin's turned by Thompson. No caution.
No caution. They keep it rolling.
Wow.
Let's see if we can't get a replay on it.
Rick Thompson did apologize to him.
It's not showing many contact between the two. Let's just back it up. I hate doing this because it looks so unnatural, but we're going to back it up here and see if we can't get a replay on what happened. Yeah, it looks like Thompson just kind of pushed up the racetrack into him. And Thompson did a good job there. He slowed down, let the 28 catch it, and we stay green.
That was a heck of a save.
That was a good save. Thompson's going to try again. Remember, Rick Thompson is on fresher tires.
Van Vliet running second still is not pitted. Mike Hamlin running first has not pitted. We know these guys can go a little bit further.
Yeah, they can go a little bit further, but Dalton Kira is only 5 seconds off of Philip Van Vliet and just closing that gap every lap, man. I mean, he is just coming. So by the time these guys are going to have to pit, I think Dalton's going to be pretty close to him. But that's pretty much the entire set of green flag pit stops. Once Mike Hamlin and Philip Van Vliet pit, it's going to give the race lead over to Dalton Kiro, and Derek Paulson will cycle back through in third once everybody's gone through. So, oh man, we got a lot going on back here. Brad Collins, Chris Legoo, newcomer McKenzie.
These guys trying to get around that 28 car to get that lap back.
Yeah, and they just got to be patient. I mean, he's on the older set of tires right now. All these guys are on fresh tires. He is the race leader. You don't want to be that guy that turns the leader.
I'm looking at the 71 of Chris Legoo's back of his car. Looks like he backed into a telephone pole. I did talk to Chris at the beginning of the race, asking what his goals was for tonight. He basically says he wants a top 20 tonight, and said the car handles great here at New Hampshire.
Larry Bell brings his 43 Chevy Camaro down pit road. Larry Bell currently scored in the 24th position. Lap 125, Mike Hamlin leads the way. Philip Van Vliet second. They still got a pit. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Shut up and sit down.
Put the power of Southern Shores Realty to work for you. With over 30 professionals in sales and rental management, Southern Shores Realty and I will get the job done right. I'm Rick Thompson, your Outer Banks real estate expert.
Call 261-2000.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Gonna cut it short, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna just come back after that commercial and say 50 laps to go, but we got a caution out on the speedway. Brad Collins and I believe Corey Rutherford involved in this one. Let's go back and take a look.
Yeah, Brad Collins, Corey Rutherford, definitely. Brad Collins, that 22, bad night for that 22 car. Man, he has just been torn up all over the place.
Yeah, he's not had a good night. It looks like if you watch how the track is here at New Hampshire, ladies and gentlemen, that bottom groove is really flat, and when they come up to that second groove, it is a pretty good incline, and it looks like the 5 just pushed up the racetrack, hit that little bit of a bump, and got into the 22.
Johnson just
So it looks like we got a busy pit road here, Terry.
Yeah, a busy pit road after this small caution. The Hammer's actually dropping it right now. I'll let you know who he drops it on.
Ty Morosco, John Perkins, Rick Thompson stay out on track. I mean, you can't, you're going to have to stop one more time. I mean, there's just no doubt about it.
And Sam, as we watched that, the replay of that with Corey Rutherford and Collins, Corey Rutherford is getting that penalty of the EOL. He's going to have to take his number 5 car to the rear of the longest line, I believe is what it is.
Guess what?
Oh, no, he's going to have to go all the way back, I think.
Here's what I'm going to do, Terry.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to scare Dalton.
Oh, God, here we go.
Yep. Dalton Kilroy, driver, the number 41. Sam and Terry up in the booth. You got a copy?
Sir.
Hey, Dalton, you're out there. You got around your teammate there to take the race lead, and it looks like you're on track here to maybe take one home tonight. Kind of walk me through what's going on out there.
Yeah, it's honestly going into the night, I did not expect anything. I know we got a couple guys that decided to stay out here under this caution. It's gonna be interesting here, but you know, I've been still trying to figure some stuff out. I didn't have at least at the start of the race, I didn't think I had the speed to be able to do anything, but I've just been kind of learning from watching the guys around me and making adjustments to my driving from that. And we'll see. 44 to go when we go green, so it is gonna be close on fuel.
That was gonna be my next question. Since you're captain, save fuel. How's the fuel situation? Do you think we're gonna have to stop one more time?
Well, it is going to be very tight. I don't know if the captain hat's going to come out here or if I'm just going to go. We'll have to see. If we get another caution, those of us that just pit under there are definitely going to make it. But it all kind of depends when that caution comes out, because some guys saved tires, some guys didn't, and it's all going to be about when it comes out.
All right, man. Looks like you're getting ready to go back green flag racing. We'll get you back down there with your team. Good luck.
Thank you.
That was Dalton Kilroy, driver, the number 41, Terry.
It definitely was. It definitely was. He sounded pretty positive, though, Sam, coming into the race. Like I said earlier, he did not do a lot of practice laps, if he'd done any at all. So, again, Ty Morosco rubbing off on the 41 now?
I don't know, but he sounds pretty confident. Says there's a couple guys that stayed out, and he's absolutely correct. Ty Morosco, John Perkins, Rick Thompson stayed out here under this one. If they get another caution, you heard him, they're going to have to pit one more time unless they get another caution, these guys who just pit. So out of turn 4, Ty Morosco fires them off. We're back underway.
Ty with a nice jump.
45 laps to go here, Terry.
Oh, man, we're almost 3 wide back here.
We are 3 wide back here.
Ooh.
Andy Poliski trying to take a 3 wide coming off turn 2. Bold move by the number 32. We're 3 wide down the back straightaway. Steve Johnson up on the top side. Tanner Marb with a big move into 3 and 4. They're putting Perkins 3 wide once again. Poliski all the way down on the apron. And Tanner Marr made that stick. Put Tanner Marr up in the 5th spot, man. Wow.
So one thing I was surprised to see on that was the 12 of Mark Arthur did not back off while those guys were up there racing like that. He says, hell with it, I'll do it too.
Well, that's, I mean, you know, it's time to go. You got 45 laps to go. Dalton said it's going to be close on fuel, but if they get another caution, they're good to go. So who's going to save the tires here?
I almost bet we got plenty of guys that's got tires in the bank. The way these guys have been pitting tonight.
Mark Arthur to the inside of the 32 of Poliski here in 1 and 2. They're trying to work around Ty Morosco. Going to put him in the middle. 3 wide coming off 2. Poliski. Oh, you could have barely put a piece of paper between the wall and Poliski's car right there coming out of 2.
Hank Caston trying to work his way around Poliski in that 32 is so Poliski up behind him, one of Ty Morosco. Dalton Kilroy right now, your race leader, followed by teammate Garrett Paulson in that 6. with Stephen T. Johnson in the it used to be 11 in that 30 car. Tanner Marr, man, he is trying to make a move on everything that's moving out there.
Yeah, he's got fresh tires, and he has been just on a tear ever since the drop of the green flag.
Tanner Marr and Mark Arthur actually pitted at the same time with tires. So they're going to try to make, as Mark Arthur barely gets into the back of the 4-car, Tanner Marr.
Well, Tanner's going to put up a fight here. This is the first time we've seen him up in the top 5 all night here at New Hampshire. He's looking to the inside of Steven Johnson right here. Battle for the 3rd position as Mark Arthur's right behind him, and Taylor Butcher-Benjamin back there in 6th.
I'm sitting there watching Tanner's car as he was going through that, going through turn 4. He's, you can tell he's hitting the gas every little bit. It'll jump. Right? He's doing it again right there. But Sam, I just happened to notice the 88 hauler. It just went through the tunnel.
Tanner got a little loose coming out at turn number 2, Terry, but he's still side by side with Steven Johnson.
Yeah, but he got back here with Mark Arthur. If he didn't do a little fender rub on Mark's left side, front left, I'd be surprised.
Well, Tanner got around Steven, put him up to 3rd. Mark Arthur now looking to the inside of Johnson.
Paulson is actually working on the back of the 41 now, Sam. I know you're watching him back here. I just happened to watch Paulson just drive up to the 41 at Dalton Kilrow.
Tanner Marr starts to pull away from the front end of Steven Johnson. Now Mark Arthur to the bottom side of the racetrack underneath the number 30 of Johnson. Side by side out of 4. 38 laps to go. Dalton Kilrow still continues to lead the way. Remember, we just talked to him there under that caution. He said that it's going to be close on fuel. I don't know, Terry. How close on fuel are they going to be? You said they can only go about 35 to maybe 40 or so laps. We saw Derek Paulson push it to the absolute extreme and do 45. They went green with 45 laps to go. What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking they're going to need a caution, or they're all going to have to come down. Now, I'm just looking through here. Mike Hamlin last pitted at 136, so he's 2 laps better than these guys up front, but Hamlin is all the way back in 20th place right now.
Yeah, he's on the back bumper of Mackenzie Roon, newcomer to Blazing Pedals, in their 19th. Donald Bennett right in front of him. Paulson getting a good run here coming out of turn 2, looking for the race lead. 36 laps to go here at New Hampshire. And these two have pulled away from Tanner Marr. Mark Arthur starting to catch up to the back bumper of that number 4 machine.
Tanner Marr kind of taking the line away from Mark Arthur right there, letting this 4 drift up in front of the 12. Mark had to back up just a hair bit. See what happens here.
Well, we see the bumper be used now. Mark's going to get a good run, go down to the bottom side of the racetrack, cut that corner off, but not going to have the momentum to get to the inside. He's going to have to slot back in line and try again.
Yeah, it looks like Tanner's just trying to slow down too late, and that's giving Mark all the advantage. Mark slowing down just a hair bit earlier and being able to get that run off them corners under that 4 car.
Paulson still all over the back bumper of his teammate. And there's still a long way to go in this one, Terry. I mean, anything can happen. We get a caution. Are we going to see everybody come down pit road and take them tires? Or are we going to see people stay out and keep the track position? Or is this thing going to go green the rest of the way? And are we going to see guys run out of fuel?
Man, I'd love to see him run out of fuel and have to fight for this thing, but I mean, we don't want a bunch of cars to stop. Mark Arthur did get around the 4 car of Tanner Marr.
Now he's got to run down the top 2. About 2 seconds out is Derek Paulson from Mark Arthur right now. And they're all running pretty identical lap times, 31.8 all the way down to Tanner Marr, who last time by ran at 32.2.
Kind of going through the field here, Sam, trying to find where these I mean, you said it yourself. It's time to go, man. We'll see who's ready to go here.
Riding on board with Brian Dees. Brian Dees is somebody we really haven't talked a whole lot about tonight, sitting there in 10th. Working on the back bumper of Corey Sherman coming out of turn 2. How about Joshua Rutherford? Terry's up 7 spots since the start of this race car. It has a fairly clean race car. Sitting there in 12th. Just having a good run out there in that number 64.
Josh Rutherford, like you said, his car is looking good. Unfortunately, the 5 of the Corey Rutherford brother is not looking all that good.
Well, you mentioned Chris Legou, Terry, and how he wanted to get a top 20 finish. On track for it right now, sitting in 18th.
Yeah, it's 71 doing an awesome job out there tonight. I'm sure we'll talk about that tomorrow night at Shop Talk, 8 o'clock. You can find us on Facebook, and I don't know where Corey puts us all, but
it's on TNA Motorsports Facebook page and Savage Edge Gaming on YouTube and Twitch.
Thank you, sir. But yeah, catch us tomorrow night. We'll be talking about this race and other stuff.
30 laps to go here in New Hampshire. Derek Paulson all over the back bumper of his teammate. Looking to the inside here, going down in 3 and 4. Big move by the number 6.
Now, we seen this earlier in the race between 2 other people, and they got all tangled up together.
Well, this is what Mark Arthur wants to see, ladies and gentlemen. Now he's going to be able to start running these guys down. He has shrunk the gap by a full second already. Now this is just going to make his life a little bit easier as these 2 are side by side coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, Mark doesn't have a lot of time, 28 laps or so, but he needs to work his way up there to get to this 6 and 41.
Oh.
6, wow, goes right up onto the 41, wow.
Looked like Paulson maybe tried to pull a little bit of a slide job right there, but didn't clear him, had to get out of it, but clears him coming off turn 4.
And as we always say, I mean, these guys are teammates. Mark Arthur has caught up to these 2.
Like I said, Terry, with those 2 battling as hard as they were, I mean, Mark had every opportunity to gain as much time as he could right there. And right now, all over the back bumper of Dalton Kilrow. But he's going to have to get around him quick and go run after Derek Paulson, who's actually shown once he gets out to the race lead, he can be quick.
Yeah, he's getting that clean air on the front of that car, and I think that is helping a ton. And he's loving what he's seen in that mirror with the 41 and the 12 kind of mess around with each other back here.
Well, that's just it, right? Roles are kind of reversed right now. Mark Arthur wanted to see the 2 teammates racing each other. Now Derek Paulson wants to see Kilrow and Arthur race each other here for second. As Mark's to the inside coming out of turn 4.
And Paulson just launched off of turn 4 while those 2 guys are battling next to each other.
Mark tries to slide up. Dalton trying to hang on that right rear quarter panel. Pinches him down. Mark has to give him a little bit of room. Still side by side off turn 2 down the back.
Now we know both these guys will not give an inch to either one of them either.
There it is.
They
right
are going
there.
to race.
Mark Arthur got enough clearance that he was able to slide up in front of that 41. Now take over second. Not what Paulson wanted to see. This is Mark Arthur's one of his best tracks. He loves this place. Now he's got to run him down. 25 to go.
See if that 12 car's got it, but we keep talking about it. Fuel, fuel, fuel.
I don't know, Terry. I think Mark might have had the advantage being a little bit further back in the pack. He was able to kind of get out of the throttle a little bit earlier, save just a little bit of fuel each time he was going into the corner, and still work his way up here in a second.
So if he stays where he's at, make Paulson kind of watch his mirror and keep Paulson in the gas pedal, Mark may get this thing around that 6 car right at the end. Paulson knows he has to beat the 12, and the 12 knows that, well, Paulson keeps in the gas, he's going to run out. And Dalton Kilrow, I bet he's saving, Sam.
He might be, Terry. He might have seen that he's not able to make it. And now that he's in third, not battling for the lead, you might as well to at least try and make sure you can make it, right? I mean, you got Mark Arthur, Derek Paulson. They're going to be racing hard here. Got to work their way around some lap traffic. That's Dave Seats, number 14. Mark Arthur looks to the bottom, trying to use that lap car as a pick.
Derek Paulson with a little bit better run off of that corner.
But they're side by side coming down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Mark has been faster the past couple of laps. Going to send it down into 3 and 4. Just not able to clear the 6. Not able to pull a little bit of a slide job right there. Oh, Paulson gets loose coming out of 4. Almost contact with the 12. They're side by side back down into 1. And Polisky's, yeah, he's trying to get up here and get his lap back. He's on fresh tires.
I don't think he's on fresh tires.
He last pit on lap 150. Or I'm sorry, not 150. Andy Polisky, 159. He just pit, Terry.
Yeah, but for 9 seconds, if he did, he took rights only.
It's very possible. He could have just to try and save some time if he knew he wasn't going to make it the rest of the way. Come down pit road, just take 2 right side tires, fill the tank up, and go. I mean, he's passing them like he's got fresher tires.
Yeah, he is. I bet he only took rights.
Well, 20 laps to go here in New Hampshire, and Mark Arthur takes over the race lead.
And Dalton Kilroe's still falling way back.
You might be onto something there, Terry. I think he's just kind of saving right now. As we're seeing a lot of drivers come down pit road thinking they're not going to be able to make it.
Take the Butcher Bencher running back and forth. It's slowly catching Dalton.
This is going to be interesting, man. We got 19 laps to go. Mark Arthur, Derek Paulson, we know everybody is going to be close on fuel. We believe that Kilroe is saving. Let's see if we can't go on board with the number 41 and listen. Dalton's saving.
Yeah, I kind of figured he would be.
Yeah, I would imagine you have to, right? I mean, he said they were close. I don't know how close they're going to be, but Derek Paulson managed to go 45 laps. I don't know, Terry.
And I said it earlier about Mike Hamlin. He is actually up in 7th place now.
Last pit on lap 136, able to go a couple extra laps. That number 28 is, so he should be able to make it. I don't think 28 is going to have to save fuel here.
See Derek Paulson trying to come out of turn 2, actually got really close to the 12 car as he's doing it again here as they go into 3 and 4.
Right now showing Andy Polisky, or now Dustin Ping, the last car in the lead lap. Brian Dees, first car, 1 lap down there in 10th place. But Dees, Ellison, Rutherford, all those guys came down pit road.
Say last time here, Mark Arthur actually finished 3rd. He actually got the pole here last time we were here, Sam.
Looks like Dave Seats is on pit road.
Derek Paulson didn't even race here last season.
Well, he's running 2nd right here. Brian Dees is starting to run these guys down, trying to get his lap back. See Cody Gibson. He's trying to hang on to what he can. Derek Paulson is about to get passed by his teammate here down the back straightaway. We know Brian Dees is on probably at least right side tires because, again, he has caught them very quickly.
Make it easy working teammate in that 6th car. Dees gets around him as Mark works around another lap car of 0 of is that Ping?
That is Ping. And here comes Brian Dees just flying by him. Had to have taken right sides.
So, oh my God. Paulson stuck with traffic.
Yeah, and all these guys are trying to get their lap back, Terry. I mean, with 14 laps to go, anything can happen here, and you want to be able to get that lap back and start on, or to not be a lap down and have to get that wave around.
Trying to see where the 32 of Poliski is compared to where Mark Arthur is on track. Now he's got a ways to go before he catches Mark, but Poliski, last pit of 159, rights only, I believe, on that car. And he's got, this is weird, man, what these guys are doing tonight.
It's a lot of different strategies being played out right now, Terry. So we see Corey Sherman trying to get his lap back. He was one of them drivers who pit on lap 162. We got 12 laps to go. Mark Arthur has about a second gap over Derek Paulson right now. Not sure if that 12 car is saving. Maybe he thinks he can go the rest of the way.
I was just kind of wondering the same thing, the way Corey Sherman was able to get around the 12 car. A little wobble out of the 12 car right there.
It's right on board with Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur is definitely not saving fuel. Ain't no way.
Absolutely not. Well, maybe he knows something that everybody else don't.
Well, yeah, he knows his fuel, how much you can go, Terry.
Right, exactly. We got less than 10 laps. We're at 10 laps now.
10 laps to go. Anything can still happen right now, showing that Corey Sherman, last car on the lead lap, in 13th. Ty Morosco is being scored the first car 1 lap down. Last pit on lap 155. 9 more times around, Terry. I think Derek might have burned his stuff up trying to battle Dalton.
Late race caution, Sam. Late race caution is what we need right now. And then we could have a nice little shootout.
I wouldn't say we need it. Mark Arthur doesn't need it. Mark Arthur definitely doesn't need it.
No, Mark Arthur does not want to see a caution. Mark is coming to the pit lane. Mark just called his pit out. He's coming down the backstretch, going into turn 3. Slowing that number 12 down, about ready to make that jump down to the bottom line. As he does, coming down pit lane, Mark Arthur. Fuel only, most likely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Paulson came with him.
Oh, man. So they can't make it. 7 laps to go, too. What? This is going to be crazy. Who's going to take it over? Taylor Butcher Benjamin keeps it out. Did Taylor save fuel?
Benjamin just called his pit, though. He's coming down next time.
Oh, man. That would give it over to Steven Johnson.
As Paulson and Arthur both come out, both of them with fuel.
Taylor's going to be coming down pit road. Is Steven Johnson going to? We know Dalton was saving.
Steven Johnson.
Is Mr. Horseshoe going to come out with another one, Terry? Captain Save Fuel.
Wow. Very, very well could.
We got Tanner Marr and Taylor both on pit road. Steven Johnson and Kilroy stay out on the track. Johnson, now your race leader. Mark Arthur sitting in 6th.
Now I'm just sitting there wondering, would I let Dalton go to make him use his fuel? I'll save mine. Well, now, what do you do for Johnson?
Johnson just popped the clutch there coming into 3 and 4, so he's trying to save a little bit, but he's not staying in it. As soon as he dumps it, he comes right back off it. So he's just trying to save a little bit each lap, probably just enough to get him to the end.
Man, that's going to be like 4 or 5 laps. Dalton coming down to a creep. He was under 100 mile an hour right there, Sam, coming out of 2.
Andy Poliski, last pit on lap 159, fuel and right side tires only for the number 32. He is 9.5 seconds off Dalton Kilrow. If Dalton and Steven Johnson run out of fuel, Andy Poliski could be there to capitalize.
Poliski is running them down quickly too, Sam.
Only got 4
Kilrow
laps
actually
to go.
backed up.
We're going to keep it on our race leaders. Johnson dumping the clutch.
Kilrow does not want to. I'm just wondering if Kilrow says, you know what, I'll try for second, but if Johnson runs out, I'll be there for the first spot.
Johnson pushing the clutch in again. He's still saving. We got 3 more to go. Poliski gained about a second. 8 seconds on 3 laps. He's not going to be able to do it unless these guys run out of fuel.
The sleeper running up to the 3rd spot. Wow.
Definitely a redemption from last week.
Oh, absolutely. It's something Andy Poliski's going to do. It's a good finish like this. Along with Steven Johnson. He's been in some trouble the last few races, so this would be a good finish for that 30 car.
Well, we got 2 more times around. Steven Johnson keeps it out. I mean, I don't see him coming down pit road. You're going to go for it now at this point.
Steven Johnson just under a second faster than Dalton Kilrow at the moment. Ahead of Dalton Kilrow, I should say.
I think Dalton might still be saving fuel a little bit. Well, we're coming out of turn 4. It's going to be white flag in the air last time around for Steven T. Johnson. Did Steven Johnson save enough fuel to make it?
I bet he ain't going to have enough to do a burnout.
Well, we're going down the back straightaway for the final time. Dalton's about a second off. Andy Poliski's 8 seconds off of Dalton. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Looks like the strategy's going to play off for the number 30 as Steven Johnson comes out of turn 4. We got another first-time winner in Blazing Pedals, Terry.
Nice out of that 30. Maybe it's a change in the number, Sam, that got him there.
That may be. He might have to ask if he can keep that number 30 on that car.
Dalton Kilrow being your second place runner tonight. Andy Poliski, the sleeper, showing up in 3rd. Mark Arthur with a late pit stop with a little bit of fuel shows up in 4th. And then Hank Caston, new this season, just this season, shows up in 5th.
So just to make sure everybody knows, Steven Johnson, Dalton Kilrow, only 2 drivers that did not pit. They stayed out that whole time from lap 134 till the end. Poliski pit on 159, took right sides and fuel only, and I mean, great bounce back for the number 32, and Steven Johnson's going to have enough fuel to burn it down. Oh, he got into the wall right there. Hopefully that doesn't ruin his possible. Oh no, he didn't have a 0.
He just ran out of fuel.
He just ran. There you go. He just ran out of fuel. Had enough to burn it down for just a second.
Now you can find them.
All right. Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to find them right now. Let's bring up Andy Poliski here. You got him.
Andy Poliski, the sleeper. That's your new nickname, brother. You got a copy on us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, Andy, I've been kind of watching you for this season. You're kind of my guy to go to. Awesome race out of that 32. Walk us through this thing tonight, man.
Oh, that was a tough race. It was really, really tough to pass. So you kind of had to play strategy a little bit. A couple 2-tire stops, and at the end there, I knew I wasn't going to make it. So I figured stop short and just run as hard as I could to see what happens.
Well, you've done an awesome job, man, in that 32 car. Like I said, I've been watching you. It seems like out of nowhere, here comes the 32 car. So great job in that third place. This is your second third place this season. The first one being at Sonoma. Right now, you're ninth in points, buddy. Hey, we go to Indianapolis next week for a big 4 turns there. Any thoughts on that?
That'll be an interesting track. It'll be a lot of fun. I think some of the ways you get through the corners is going to it's going to kind of go with this track. They're both flat tracks, so you really gotta wait on the throttle to be fast. You want a better exit than you do necessarily entry, so you can carry speed down the straights. It's kind of what you wanted to do here as much as you could.
All right, man. Well, hey, who do you got on that car you want to thank, Mud?
I want to thank my sponsors, Nissan Wichita Falls, CJR Graphics. God, I can't remember. It looked tough race, man. So I can't think of anything right now, but definitely Nissan Wichita Falls, CJR Graphics, Music Metal Militia, Josh's business. Thank you guys in the league. Thank the sponsors of the league, Savage Edge Graphics, MFRD. I mean, you guys got to put a great league on every single week. So a lot of fun racing with you guys. These top 5s, top 3s, they take a lot of work to get there.
All right, Andy, we'll get you back down to where you was, buddy. Congratulations. We'll see you next week in Indy.
All right, thank you.
I couldn't get a move there, Terry. That's third place finisher Andy Poliski, and you heard him. I mean, he's got to be happy with third place finish. I'm actually catching up with our second place finisher. That's Dalton Kilrow. Dalton, we talked to you a little bit under that one caution. You said fuel was going to be tight. It looks like you and Steven Johnson kind of had the same idea. Kind of walk me through those closing laps there. What was going through your mind? Do you think you had a shot at getting them, or what played off to get you second place here tonight?
Yeah, he just started saving way before I did, because I wanted to start saving, but at the same time, I didn't want to just lose all my track position in case a caution did come out, because I still had a set of tires in the bank, and I just I knew if caution came out, I was coming and taking them, especially like 20 to go or less than that. But he just started saving a lot earlier than I did, and by the time I decided to put the captain hat on, it looked more like a private hat, because didn't work out quite the way I expected it to. I was sputtering across the line, but no, he did a good job. He outfoxed me on the fuel tonight, so good job to the 30, and just overall glad I was able to have a decent run tonight.
Well, yeah, you definitely had a good run tonight, Dalton. Like I said, we talked to you there before under that last caution. You said fuel was going to be tight. You still managed to bring that number 41 home in second place. Who do we got to shout out tonight?
I think MF Racing Designs, everybody else at MFRD, you guys tuning in the broadcast, Priority Auto, Savage Edge, CGR Graphics, Mullet Music Productions, and everybody at home for tuning in. And
all right, man. Well, hey, congratulations again on second place, and we'll see you again next week.
10-4, thank you.
And that was Dalton Kilrow coming home in second place. And I believe Terry Foster is actually catching up with our winner, Steven Johnson.
Driver number 30 Lowe's car, Steven Johnson. Man, what was going through your mind these last 5 laps?
Not fuel. So, I mean, I was saving fuel on pit road on that last run. It's like we were about 6 laps outside the pit window. I'm like, let's just stretch it. Let's see what happens. I literally had the car turned off on pit exit, like just rolling down pit road, and just tried to save as much as I could. I had pretty much a number figured out, and I was just trying to match that number. I really wasn't worried about racing anybody on the track. I just wanted to make those numbers work, and hope it came around and worked out, and really fortunate it did.
Well, you've done an awesome job. So Sam and I actually, through the broadcast, probably here at the end, we was talking about the number 30, and we kind of threw us off tonight. You're usually in an 11. Are we going to keep this 30 car?
Well, we're supposed to be switching to a different number, and it looks like somebody else picked up that number before I got into the session. So I'm not sure what happened with that, but I'm not worried about it. It's just a number. So, but We'll see what happens.
Well, I just wondered. Anyway, I mean, it don't matter to us. But well, congratulations, man, on your first win here at Blazing Pedals. You gotta be thrilled about that.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've had some pretty good luck and some pretty bad luck, and just kind of ups and downs, and just trying to be in the conversation at the end, and finally able to make one happen there.
All right, but well, next week we go to the big track here in Indianapolis for 100 laps. You got any thoughts on that?
It's on the oval, right?
Do you want it to be?
I don't know. Is it?
It is. Yeah, it's
okay.
On the oval, buddy.
Let's do it. I mean, the oval honestly is a really fun track, and it's high risk, high reward. So if you use the entire track, you can make up a lot of time down the straightaways. But it's a really fun track. I wish we had raced it in real life, but maybe one day again.
There you go. All right, bud. Who do you got to thank on that car tonight?
I just appreciate True Sim Productions for putting on fantastic broadcasts. You always do a great job and enjoy going back and watching the races. Appreciate the Five Kings folks, especially Tanner Moore, Chris Carroll helped me with the fuel strategy at the end. So, like I said, just kind of had a number, tried to make it work, and fortunately it did.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations again on your first win. We'll get you back down to where you was.
I appreciate it. Hope to talk soon.
And that was your race winner, Stephen T. Johnson. First-time winner here in Blazing Pedals. And that's 2 in a row, Terry. You think we can make it 3 next week?
Well, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Now, I know Dalton Kilmer actually runs pretty good at Indy. But I would like to see another winner. Well, wait, Dalton has not won. No, Dalton hasn't won an actual points race yet. Yeah, he did, Daytona. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. Keep up, Terry.
I keep forgetting.
No, I'm just kidding. But hey, that's going to do it for us here on True Sim Productions here for the Blazing Pedals Xfinity Series presented to us by Savage Edge Graphics. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go check out savageedge.com and get yourself a True Sim Production t-shirt along with a bunch of other great stuff Corey's got on his website. So go check that out. And it's been fun here at New Hampshire. It's been a long one, but Stephen T. Johnson comes out on top. And with that being said, we're going to get out of here, and we'll see you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a good one.